Good evening, everyone. This is Piney Fuels, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Hello, Drac. How are things going in Barovia?
Not too bad at all, really. I can't complain too much.
The peasants are taking a night off and giving their protests, I guess.
Yes, so far we are protest free and everything is smooth sailing here in the old Barovia landscape.
Then let's go and find out what is happening. Perhaps the protesters went all to complain about whatever's in Update 40 Patch 1?
Probably that might be it. But actually, this was a pretty cool patch. Yeah, last Thursday we have a patch. So if you tried to log in DDO, you're going to have a patch, like Piney found out just moments ago.
Yes.
Surprise! There was a patch. They fixed a lot of animations. That was pretty much the bulk of this patch, I would say. The half-elf males and females now dance correctly. Dances are always important, folks. When jumping, cloaks worn by the Dragonborn females will now correctly animate.
Okay.
Double-sided cloaks worn by Dragonborn females are now thinner.
What?
I guess it was making them look fat. I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Dragonborn females now animate correctly when turning. The elf females now animate correctly while dual wielding. Characters now animate correctly while changing rune arms.
Changing? Oh, okay. Changing the weapon, I guess.
Or charging. I'm sorry, charging. I said changing.
Okay,
Charging.
that makes...
Yep. Sorry, I misread that. Dwarf, half-orc, and purple dragon knight. Males will now animate correctly when firing a bow. Character generation clipping has been cleaned up on all races. Half-elf male and females now animate correctly while emoting, are swimming, and also wearing a cloak. So a lot of cloak work. Cloaks should now animate correctly while a rune arm is being charged, and that's on all races. The gnome males now animate correctly while doing their dance. Warforged now animates correctly while firing a bow. And back to the Dragonborn females. They will now animate correctly when Eldritch blasting and are jumping. So lots of little animation fixes here and there. Then the falconry tree got a little bit of love. All avian companion attacks now connect about 30% faster. All avian companion attacks happen regardless of if the player's own attack hits or not. So it's pretty much an automatic hit with your little avian companion.
Yes, and I noticed that it also says that even if your melee attack is out of range, the avian companion still hits.
Yeah, that's kind of nice, actually. I like that. I need to buy that pack, that bonus pack, or whatever they call it, the falconry tree, and get that and kind of play around with this, I think.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to work with that on the druid.
Yeah, I was going to ask if that's what you were going to do. Yeah, I kind of figured you might. Avian companion attacks now will make a line of sight check. Guess that could be good or bad, depending on your frame of reference on that.
Yes.
Mark your parade no longer has a shared cooldown with avian companion attacks, and the avian companion should no longer prevent certain quests, such as the Miller's Debt and what goes up, from progressing correctly.
I presume these are solo-only quests. Is that the...
I
can't remember what about what goes up. But
that's not solo only, yeah.
Oh, what goes up isn't?
Yeah, that is not. Miller's Debt is. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the whole situation was with that, but
okay.
And then a couple items got a little work. Drought of Midnight's duration no longer expires in public areas. Vampire cosmetic outfit is now displaying properly on the wood elf males. And if you have not,
I know that's important to you.
Yes, it is. If you have not seen that outfit, it is amazing. It's available in the store now. So, go now.
Is it something that would be appropriate for a wood elf rogue?
It's going to be. I don't know if it's totally appropriate, but it's going to be. Just saying. Seals of Stormreach art completion now grants new versions of the named items introduced in Update 40 instead of their old versions. And there's some quest work as well. The Wrath of the Earth, once again, can be entered and completed. So that quest is now back open. The Killing Time raid got a few little tweaks as well. It's no longer possible to complete the raid after Korkaza has completed her ritual. If you kill the Murat very quickly, the damaging orbs will be removed correctly. There is no longer an Arrhenius repeated Dungeon Master line. Guess they shut the DM up for once.
Oh, wow.
When the raid is complete, a portal will now open in each of the mini memories, allowing characters that may be stuck inside to return to collect the loot, which is always important. And when the raid is complete, a resurrection shrine will now be placed near the start of the quest. And the Night Rebels got a little tweak as well. Of course, the Night Rebels still running through November the 4th, so you got plenty of time to take advantage of these new tweaks. In the graveyard, players will now wade at full speed through the puddles in the graveyard, and they won't slow you down. Yay, indeed. That was so annoying when that water slowed you down. And players will now gain a chest for having defeated the end boss. So that is pretty cool. I kind of like that chest they put in there because it kind of gives you, I guess, a reason. I guess I'm trying to think of the word. But it kind of...
Actually finish it?
Yeah, it makes you want to finish it because you know you got a chest and you got loot waiting for you. Instead of... Unless you're just going in there for keys, and then I guess you wouldn't really care. But loot is always good, people. Loot is always good. And then, Hey Weird Foundry, they lowered the number of monsters to make a little smaller size packs, which is a good thing because some of those packs were... There was a lot of skeletons in some of those packs. And I didn't even know this was even possible to do. But players can no longer fall into the lava behind the starting area. Didn't even know you could do that, but apparently you could. Lord Mart Plaza, the end fight has been updated to more reliably give points. And under new ravagement, Vorn no longer is stealthed when he first appears, and he should no longer spawn underneath the floor. Yay, because that bugged out a couple times when I ran that, when he was under the floor and we couldn't kill him. So we couldn't get our extra star. And then one other quest is back open, and that is the newcomers. It's once again can be entered and completed. And the fun patch note of the release notes: all moving platforms should once again correctly move.
Now, this sounds like something that could be related to newcomers being open again, because aren't there a lot of moving platforms in newcomers?
Yes, there is. And I think that you are totally correct. I think that was the problem with newcomers. I think some of the platforms were not moving.
I have no trouble with it when the platforms are moving.
But they have had a stern talk to the platforms, and they are now moving again. And that is our Update 40 Patch 1 release notes.
Then let's head into the DDO Chronicle issue 304, and that looks like a very Night Revelish cover there.
Mm-hmm. Week number 2, once again.
Yes.
I was correct. Thank you very much. In our news, of course, the Night Rebels. It's returned. It's here. It's back. It's fun. Go run it. It's a good time with the new dungeon and all, as I said, through November the 4th. So get into the game and start night reveling, people. You have plenty of time to get what you want. No excuse for not getting whatever you want. And then there is an event coming up on October the 27th over on Galanda. The legendary warriors of Galanda will be raising zombies in the marketplace. And loitering in the Phoenix Tavern to harvest unused brains. Click over for more information on this very Halloweenish player-ran event. So, zombies and brains. What else do we need for Halloween? And that, of course, is taking place on Galanda. In the fansite news section, D&D Night is, of course, happening every Sunday night over on DDO stream. So check that out. You can watch See, this one was our... Rescuing Saba Jade game. Last night we played another game, which I'm going to talk about later. So you can watch both of those right now over on the DDO stream channel or on my Twitch channel and YouTube as well. You can check out Mickey's Delirium blog as she is talking about the Night Rebels 2018 edition. Don't forget about a free DO with Psycho Blonde. Brock and Friends didn't roleplay this week, but they did do some Night Rebels. Still a fun show to watch. Love Brock and Friends. Don't forget about the latest streamers over on the DDO stream, DDO Sundays with Alex and Lynn. And the House of Grouse has another blog post. DDOPL is running the Night Rebels as well. And there is a new blog post from Even that everybody should read. And don't forget, Tone Station takes you inside the Magic Circle every week to watch his adventures over on Galanda. We do have the question of the week, as always. That is, what's the tastiest Night Rebels ingredient?
The tastiest Night Rebels ingredient. Spooky almonds.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know. I'm kind of partial to these shadowy caramels, though. I think those would be more tasty. Because who doesn't love caramel? Then, of course, screenshot of the week.
Yeah.
Guess what? I was right
like
again.
A dragon.
I was right again. I said it was going to be a Night Rebel screenshot, and look, it's the Spectral Dragon.
Ooh.
So I'm 2 for 2, finally. I need to go play the lottery.
Well, yes, but you've got to remember is that you're using all your luck here.
True. Very true. And if you watched D&D Night on DDO stream last night, you know that to be a fact. Just saying.
That didn't go too well.
Not really. The dice were not kind to me.
Oh, when are they ever kind to you?
Well, it's true. They started out kind to me, but then not so much.
Well, then they betray you and stab you in the back.
Exactly. But yeah, the screenshot of the week, of course, is Chip Chap is awakening the Spectral Dragon Eternity in the 386th DDO screenshot of the week. And thanks to Chip Chap for sending that screenshot in. And I'm going to declare next week yet another Night Rebels screenshot. Just saying.
I will probably not disagree with that. Let's then head into our store sales, where I heard that our guilds are going to get involved.
We are honoring our guilds this week with 50% off guild charters, 50% off the guild ship airship beacons, and then we can also get 25% off astral shards. Once again, as I always say, if you're going to buy them when they're on sale. And guild renown elixirs.
All right, and here's my question then.
Sure.
What do astral shards have to do with honoring your guild?
You know, I would love to ask the marketing department that. Because I can never understand that. But the only time they're ever on sale is during the Honor Your Guild sale. Never made sense from day one when they started the sales. And that always happened. Makes no sense whatsoever. Those sales run through October 18th if you want to honor your guild by buying some astral shards, apparently. And our weekly coupon is going to get you a lasting bear skin +2 potion, 5 of those potions, when you use the coupon code LASTINGBARK, LASTINGBARK, conveniently through October the 18th as well.
Okay, now I presume that's a lasting bark skin, not a bear skin?
I'm sorry, yes, a bark skin. I realized I said bear after I said it. Okay. I was hoping nobody would notice and we would just move right on. But thanks for pointing that out, Pineley. I appreciate that very much. The old vampiric eyes aren't what they used to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes, understood. Let's then see what's on the tabletop. And apparently, Betrayal Legacy is set to hit shelves from Avalon Hill on November the 9th.
Yeah.
So Betrayal then.
We're going to have Betrayal happening on November the 9th, as you said. We haven't talked about this for a while. We did kind of say Betrayal Legacy was coming. Of course, this is the Legacy version of Betrayal on House on the Hill. So if you're a fan of that game, Rob Dabbio, the father of the Legacy games, is putting his spin on Betrayal.
Now, here is my question.
Okay.
If they've had trouble getting all of the incidents that happened and all the stories in Betrayal right, I think in the various editions that they've had,
right?
Bugs in there, how do you expect them to do that?
Exactly.
Legacy version. Exactly.
I love you, Avalon Hill, but yeah, I don't know how well this is going to work out. But for those of you that might not know, what the heck are you talking about? Because it has been a while since we talked about this. Betrayal Legacy is a semi-cooperative campaign board game that tells an overreaching story of the house on the hill. And that is incorporating the actions and choices of the players. Over the course of the campaign, the game is permanently altered until players are left with a fully customizable, replayable version of the Betrayal on the House on the Hill game.
Hold on. I thought that game isn't exactly known for being the most replayable one in the first place.
Right? Yeah, well...
Well, okay. You know what I mean? Once you've had...
It depends. I mean, if you played it enough to where you've gone through, like, all 50 haunts...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not very replayable, but...
Okay, but there are 50 haunts.
Right, and then in the expansion, there's 50 more, and then in Betrayal Baldur's Gate, there's 50 more. So, I mean, technically, if you played it that much, God love you, number one. Gonna say, you've got your $50 out of the game. So, if you're repeating a haunt, it's probably been a while since you pulled that haunt, so I don't think you're gonna remember it much. But this sounds interesting, though, that you're basically getting 2 games with this one. Because you're getting the Legacy Betrayal. And then, as like I said, as you're playing through that, you're going to alter the game. And that's going to create a brand new version of Betrayal on House on the Hill for you. And just like other Legacy games, it depends. Your choices are going to matter. Because whatever you do is going to affect further gameplays until you're done with the story, and then you have your new copy of Betrayal in the House on the Hill. But going to be interesting nonetheless. November the 9th, this is hitting shelves, and this is coming from Avalon Hill. It's available for pre-order at your friendly local game store. Amazon does not have it listed for pre-order yet, and I checked a couple of the other online retailers, and nobody has it available for pre-order yet, so I found that kind of weird, but I assume soonish it should be, as it's coming out November 9th, which is not that far away, actually.
Then do those stores at least have Axis and Allies and Zombies for pre-order yet?
They do, because that is coming out very, very soon, and that's coming out October the 26th. Once again, been a while since we talked about this, but it's exactly what it sounds like. It's Axis and Allies with zombies.
With zombies.
Because why not? It's basically a streamlined, fast-playing version of Axis and Allies, and you have to contend with zombies.
Mm-hmm. And are the zombies neutral, or are they fighting for one or the other side?
They are just kind of out to kill everybody, because that's what zombies do.
Just wanted to make sure, because there have been some World War II zombie games where the Axis was creating the zombies to use the Allies.
Right, yeah. No, this is just, they're just another faction that you have to contend with, and they are going to try to get everywhere. And Avalon Hill does say about this, it's 12 and up for the player age, 1 to 3 hours of playtime, and that's going to carry an MSRP of $40 when it hits store shelves on October the 26th, and it is also available at your friendly local game store. But Amazon actually has this one up, and other game sellers online has it for pre-order too. Just Betrayal Legacy was really weird. There was no pre-orders anywhere for that. The Betrayal Legacy, I forgot to say, the MSRP on that is $75.
Then let's look at Camel Up, which has been announced from Eggerspiel. Oh, what about Camel Up that's been announced? Hasn't that been around for a while?
It has, but this is an all-new version. Because if you have tried to buy Camel Up recently, you have realized you're going to either A, have to sell a kidney, or B, rob a bank.
That bad?
Because it's been out of print forever, and the third-hand market is insane for Camel Up. But Eggert Spiel is soon going to solve that problem with an all-new version of Camel Up.
And it looks like the C is smaller in this version, so that you don't have people calling it Camel Cup anymore.
Yes, exactly. And I'm glad you said that, because there were actually people complaining about that.
Complaining that it won't have the C.
Because they were saying, "What is this Camel Up game? It's Camel Cup." No, it's always been Camel Up. You've just been pronouncing it wrong because the C was big. Yeah, internet people.
Oh well.
internet.
What did you expect?
But this is more than just a pretty face, though. Things have changed a lot in this version. Number one, there is a brand new, all dazzling pyramid that sits in the middle of the board. And then, of course, the board itself got an update. There is some fancy new dice as well. And there are a couple new modes like Rogue Camels. And this is going to change the game because those camels, the Rogue Camels, are running the race backwards.
What?
So, yeah. That's Camel Up coming from Eggert Spiel. And this is going to be available soon. It's going to be available at Essen 2018 and then in retailers shortly after that. You can place your pre-orders now over at eggertspiel.com. And of course, if you're not familiar with Camel Up, the easiest way to describe it is you're betting on camels that are racing. It's a camel racing game. Just
a camel racing game.
What you think it is. I've never personally played it, but I know a lot of people love this game, and they were super excited to see a new version of it. One, just because everybody says it's such a great game, and two, because of the third-hand seller market. It's just crazy on this game. So, new version, Camel Up, coming soon.
Then let's go and see what's on the screen. The Ballad Singer, a narrated graphic experience, launches on Steam. Narrated graphics experience?
Yeah, it's the easiest way to describe this is it's a graphic novel, but it's fully narrated, and it's kind of like a choose your own adventure. So you're going to go through the adventure. It's kind of narrated, for lack of a better term, by a kind of a dungeon master, and the choices you make are played out in the story. And the other interesting thing about it is if you die, it doesn't really matter because there's really no death. You'll just start over with another hero, but the world is affected by everything your previous hero did. So it's sort of like a roguelike in that aspect too. So it's always twisting and turning and changing.
It's roguelike, but it's legacy. It's a legacy roguelike.
Yeah, that's, I guess, that is a really good way of describing it. This is available on Steam now. This is in early access. So keep that in mind when I say the words early access. There might be some bugs or whatever. The final version is expected to come out mid-November, though. So they were smart with their early access. Usually some games are in early access for like years. But this one, not too long, just a couple weeks. They are pretty sure that the final is going to come out in November, and it's $22.99 over on Steam. But yes, it's a roguelike legacy narrated graphic experience. It looks pretty cool. Look for a playthrough video of this coming soon. I'm going to take a first look at this and do a review soonish over on DDO Players.
How do you do a video of that sort without spoilers?
It's going to be very spoilerish.
Okay.
I'm going to warn people before I start. Spoilers abound. Because, yeah, there's no way you can not spoil this.
Okay.
But it looks pretty amazing. Like I said, I'm actually saving my playthrough for the video. I haven't really played it. I've just watched the trailer and read some of the stuff in the press release. But I put one of the graphics up on the site, and it's going to be up on the YouTube version of this right now. It looks darn pretty. But that is The Ballad Singer, available now over on Steam.
Then let's head into our week in gaming, where it looks like Drac was experimenting with Reaper.
I did. I Reapered it up. And one word to explain why I Reapered.
Lessa?
Close. Damsels, but yeah.
Damsels, okay.
Same difference, less the damsels. All in the one and the same. Yes, played with the damsels this week on their show on Friday evening. You can check out the Reapering that occurred, because we did do 2 quests in Reaper Skull 2. We did Church and the Cult, and then we did the Keeper's Sanctuary. And I gotta admit, I'm sure I've done Keeper's Sanctuary before, but I did not remember that quest at all. It's in Delara's Graveyard. It's like a level 9 quest. I'm almost positive I ran that quest, but man, I didn't remember it. And holy but Jesus, was that quest hard.
Which one is that?
There's a bunch of secret doors in it. You have to find the secret doors. You're trying to find I can't think of what they call them in the quest. I don't want to say journals. All I can think of now is the word journals, and it's not journals.
Okay.
But I'm almost positive I've done it, but it must have been so long because I didn't remember the quest. I love Church and the Cult. I do it all the time. But yeah, we did those on Reaper Skull too. But yeah, Keeper Sanctuary, that was hard because the traps were just horrendous. And of course, it didn't help that there was no rogue in the party. Go figure. Yeah. Because, damsels, that's all I have to say. And then before the actual damsel show, Les and I was running a bunch of the Night Rebel stuff over on Argo as well. And then the only thing I did in DDO was with you, so I'll let you talk about that. Did do a lot of D&D 5e this week. I rolled 3 characters. 1, 2, 3. That's right. Rolled my Ranger up for Cordoban's one-shot Halloween. That's coming up the next 3 weeks over on D&D Night on DDO stream every Sunday night. You can check out that adventure, something Cordoban's cooked up. And then I rolled up Rogue for Evil Beaker. He is going to be running Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and that is going to be a bonus show. It's not going to be technically on D&D Night on DDO stream. We're going to do it on Evil Beaker's channel, and then the videos are going to be uploaded to the D&D Night section of the YouTube page. So it's just kind of like some bonus stuff that we're doing for D&D Night on DDO stream. Right. So excited to run through Waterdeep, but I'm doing a Drow Rogue for that one. And it turns out I am the only non-dwarf in the party. So I'm literally going to be surrounded by like 5 dwarves.
You're going to be surrounded by 5 dwarves.
So a drow and 5 dwarves walk into a tavern. Insert punchline here.
Well, I suppose the drow only gets 5 dwarves. You have to be Snow White to get
7. That's right, exactly. And then I rolled up another rogue. This time a Dragonborn rogue because I thought it would be funny. And that's for Patrick's campaign that he's running on D&D Night on DDO stream. And we actually did night 1 of that last night. And yes, I'm a Dragonborn rogue because I thought it would be funny. And he's an interesting rogue. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Now, concerning Cordovan's one-shot,
sure.
It's going to take 3 kills you on the first night.
He told us to have other characters ready.
Oh, okay.
Because
prepared for that eventuality.
He's pretty sure he's going to kill us all. Because it's going to be really, really, really super hard, I think. So we'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, my Dragonborn rogue for Patrick's campaign. Think a depressed Eeyore, and that's pretty much the rogue.
A depressed Eeyore?
Yes. Like Eeyore times 10. And that's my rogue.
All right. How's he compared to Marvin, let's say?
He's more depressed than Marvin.
More depressed than Marvin.
Oh, yeah. The first time I killed something, I just said, I turn around and look at my party mates, and I said, thanks for noticing what I did there. So, yeah. I am a depressed Dragonborn rogue, so we'll see how that plays out.
We'll see.
And that's an interesting party makeup. We have some really interesting characters. You really need to watch that video because there's some it's a good group dynamic we have going on. So we'll see. And we almost didn't survive night 1 of that.
Almost didn't.
Patrick had 3 of us down to death saves, so
yikes.
Yeah. So
they took lessons from you on how to DM.
Yeah, apparently he's been listening a little much about my DMing style, but that was super, super fun though. So lots of fun with D&D 5e this week. So how about you, Pine Leaf? What did we do and what were you up to? Which actually doesn't look like a lot really for you.
We'll begin with Night Revels, which I did with you. We were originally planning to go into the Stormhorns, but we were having so much trouble finding.
Yeah, I forgot what a pain in the butt that place is.
Yeah, so we eventually gave up and says, hey, how about going to the Night Revels? We went over there, and first we ran the Graveyard Challenge to pick up some keys. We got through 3 stars of it and most of the fourth when Drax Internet decided that it didn't want to play for a while.
It just quit. It's like, nope, I'm done. See ya.
So after that took more than a couple of minutes for it to come back up, I decided, let's see how much of this I can continue on while I'm waiting for him. And I eventually managed to complete the quest because we had already done all the hard parts.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I finally got logged back in and finally was like, I just finished.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nice.
Nice. All right. So we finished up that, and that was all in good. But this was before the chest was introduced, so we didn't get a chest for it.
Yep.
Then we did the Snitch and the Lich, and then Under New Ravagement, we completed 5 stars for each of those. And after Under New Ravagement, I hit level 20.
Yay! Which
Yay.
was kind of the whole goal because I figured you only needed, I forgot like where you were sitting at for experience, but you didn't need a lot of experience. And I'm like, I guarantee you we run 1 or 2 of the Night Rebels quests that you haven't done yet to get that experience bonus. You'll hit level 20. And sure enough, you did.
And sure enough, I did hit level 20. All can be happy, and we've reached our goal there.
That's right. So that means we're TRing back to 1 this week.
Yeah.
Yay! We got to 20 and now we're level 1. Yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
I know, you're all excited.
Yay! I guess. I'm just not excited about having to go through Korthos because I know you're going to make me run Korthos.
Oh, of course.
Of course you are. Why wouldn't you? Korthos.
Then in Minecraft, I finished the building of the upper sections on the haunted house. So therefore, I have all the above ground parts of the haunted house are completed. Well, actually, the structure itself is there, which means it doesn't look like a haunted house right now. It looks like a house. So I need to now turn that into a haunted house by adding things like spider webs and breaking apart some of the areas, but it's hard to add dilapidated furnishing and stuff like that. But I'll have to see what I can do in order to make this place look reasonably haunted. Well, at the same time, try to find a way not to have creepers exploding all over the place because while 1 or 2 creepers might actually add some character to the haunted house.
Yeah, that would add character, all right.
Yeah, a fleet of creepers, I think, would be
mildly terrifying.
Will leave nothing but a crater in there, I think, probably in the end. Therefore, I'll have to then work in order to turn that into a haunted. But I got the house there, now I just get the haunted part. Then in the October base race, which is an alien-themed base race, I was having a lot of trouble with this because you've got this big alien overlord, and it decided to settle down and live inside my base. Now, unfortunately, in base race, this isn't one where you could just pick up and find a new base somewhere.
Okay.
In base race, because the object of base race is to collect a number of items and bring them back to a specified chest inside the base.
Wow.
So you have to return to the base in order to complete the thing, and that's the only area where you're allowed to sleep and all sorts of things. So a lot of things are centered around this base where you're starting at. So I just decided to dump the race portion of it. I'm not exactly into a big Halloween theme anyway. And I decided to restart and hit the button that says, I'm only doing the build this month.
Nice.
So I'm starting to do the build. I'm building as a dome that you could have if you're trying to live on an alien planet. For example, you could think of it as one of those domes you see in Mars movies.
Oh, okay.
Mars colonization movies and stuff like that. So therefore, I'm building one of those domes. It looks like I managed to successfully build the dome, probably though a little bit smaller than I should have made it. So I am going to have to create a basement to it in order, but I would figure, yeah, I'm saying a basement under one of these things could be a reasonable thing to do, having a lot of it underground. And I could put watery sections down there so that we don't have danger of evaporation or anything like that. So I'm going to build an underground section for the watery section. The upper area is going to be for areas that are going to require sunlight and stuff like that. So I've done the shell to this. Then of course now I need to actually get an airlock made and the underground areas made, and of course, actually populate it with the plants and all that other stuff that I'm going to be putting inside of it. Then you may be wondering, why only this amount of stuff? Why not a lot more stuff this week? And I can answer that in one word: Lotro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had release of update 23 where dragons dwell, and I've been helping dwarves in the Iron Hills as I start the content within update 23. We currently have 21 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be a guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast at ddoplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at the Players Alliance at Players Ally, DDO Players at DDO Players, Draculetta at Dracula_72, and Pineleaf at Pineleaf Hills. And you can follow Drac on Twitch at Draculetta_72. And we have two shows currently on the Players Alliance system. Every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News, and every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Lojo Players News. You can join us for our live shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight, and this is Pilot News reminding you to quest responsibly.